A very good morning for everybody watching the Paddy brand channel. My name is Senator Adrian Charlson, and this is the Mirror Extra. The president of this country, the new president and the old president, he's not a new president, but he's just newly elected. The old but newly elected president of this country, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the son of Esther and Amos, came out this week. He sworn in for the 7th term in power, and he's here after 35 years, and for this term he'll be making 40 years in power. As he was speaking on his inauguration day, he said a lot of words that we should dissect right here. He said people of the West should not give him lectures about democracy. What's your take on that?
First of all, I would want to say that Museveni, who got to be inaugurated, is indeed a Museveni making number 7. Because remember, for his inauguration of this time, this marked his democratically elected term of office, the 6th. But remember, in 1996. He was also sworn in, so that brings him indeed to number 7 that matches with his name, Museveni.
So
in this case, I believe no, because you should remember that if he does not fulfill perhaps his number 7, for us to really have it as Mu1, Mu2, Mu3, Mu4, Mu5, Mu6, and then Mu7. I don't think he's going to give up. And looking at his physique at the time when he was trying to get to the pulpit where he had to take his oath, you'd think he's just more physically fit than ever. He is the man that is taking actually all of the doubts about his strength, his age away. So I do believe, yes, he's a strong man. But the other thing that he came out saying, of course, backing at the Western world on questioning the democracy of this country, more so the democracy of Africa. I do believe Museveni is a kind of tactical person. I do believe he knows that with the Western powers, these are his allies. He knows these are people, again, who turn behind closed doors and can do anything. So I believe he was reminding them that this is Uganda. It is a sovereign country. And if you are to advise us on any matters, so you should do it under mutual understanding. And let's question the democracy of the Western powers. And
before we question the democracy of the Western powers, in his very speech, because you are going there, in his speech,
yes,
he showed us that he's not bothered about the local enemies, the opposition. Why is it so? Should we go by the saying that the local opposition could be duplicated?
Among the local opposition, personalities are those that are genuine, and also are those that have a lot of questions to answer. I do believe he's not bothered of our own opposition, well knowing that these are a group of people that can hardly shake him. I mean, whoever has come out to at least contest against him, believe you me, they have ended up with a failure. So that is why he seemed not bothered with them at all. He knows this is their nature. Their nature is characterized with weakness, sometimes inconsistency, and he being the judge, I don't know of now the great-great-grandchildren. I don't believe some of these opposition members, he takes them as his children, and indeed as political amateurs who need to be groomed up by him.
He continued showing us that in the political landscape of Africa, he's the big man now, because we thought he has wrangles with very many countries, including Kenya and Rwanda, but at the end of the day, we saw the president of Kenya here, and Rwanda sent delegates.
Museveni, if not being the first long-serving president on the continent of Africa, it could be number 2. So I believe that the rest of African presidents do give him a lot of respect. But the other thing though, he's a kind of person who's also scared. He's seen his colleagues, former presidents of other countries that had longly clung onto power. They got to be pushed away by their own nationalities. So I do think as much as these people did attend to him, they came to his inauguration just because they have a lot of respect for him. They have maybe a thing or two to learn from him on how he has managed to cling onto power for 35 years, but getting back at least to the words he said, I don't believe these words came as a result of fear. He was trying to wail for the fear that maybe his time is ending soon.
Finally, he spoke these words in Uganda. Akaluka wedde. Let's go back to work.
Akaluka wedde, let's go back to work. I do believe, yes, he was right. And to me, when I look at the opposition of Uganda, and I look at the people who attended his inauguration, you'd think these could be people with either wise brains or they are foolish. Any of the two, depending on who can analyze these two words, you could get it right. But I saw Maracha, an FDC, a member of parliament, Dennis Lee Oguzo, attending Museveni's inauguration ceremony. I also saw the UPC, son of the late and former president of this country, Milton Obote, Mose, attending to this ceremony, being Akena? Yes. So, these at least showed a sense of mutual understanding.
You also saw the daughter of the late, the granddaughter of the
my goodness, that young lady's poem, stood out for me, and it made the day. It made the day. As much as within this poem, there could have been lines within the stanzas that had message for one to query, but that girl wrote in a poem that bring back Ugandans to think as one basket, to reconcile and do anything. But allow me to pass this message from Maracha and FDC Member of Parliament Lee Oguzo, who attended Museveni's inauguration ceremony. On being interviewed, he asked members of opposition to deter away from parallel leadership and emphasize ideological and inclusive-based leadership. Also asked whether this wasn't a controversial move to his party because his party did shun away from attending the inauguration. He responded by saying that, will opposition political parties stop new legislators to attend the opening of 2021 to 2026 legislation by Mr. Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa or Ruta Habura Museveni next week? I think those two statements stood out for me.
That has been it for things concerning the swearing. We are bringing more about the swearing. But for now, let's get to stop here. Continue subscribing, continue watching the videos. We are very happy that the channel is moving very well, and wish you a very good morning.